Music Theory Episode 5. Hello again, friends of the show. Today you're watching Episode 5 of the Music Theory series, in which we're going to discuss intervals, the building blocks of everything. An interval can best be described as the distance between two notes. You can play these notes simultaneously, in chords for example, or adjacently, in melodies for example. Studying intervals is very important for multiple reasons. In previous videos we described functions of the major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, or 1 again. Those functions are linked to notes used in the major scale, and the same goes for intervals. It's basically the same thing, but then labeled more officially, and of course using all the notes you can think of instead of just the ones from the major scale. Intervals describe shapes, sound, emotion, dissonance or consonance. Recognize these and you will benefit greatly from it. For instance, when trying to figure out music by ear, or translating something from your head to your guitar. When we look at the major scale, we see there are 7 different notes creating that scale. We can name each of those notes as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 or 1, but each of those notes has also a relation to the key center of this major scale, the first note I played, in this case G. So now we're gonna label each of those notes and the relation that particular note has towards the first note, the G. The first one is called unison. It's the interval between two identical notes. And then we've got the major second, the major third, the perfect fourth, the perfect fifth, the major sixth, the major seventh, and the perfect octave. Some are called perfect and others major because of the quality of the interval. We use the word perfect to describe the sound as being consonant and open, as opposed to the word dissonant. And the major ones are linked to the steps of the major scale and always have a minor version of those. The difference between them is always one semitone, where the minor version is always one semitone lower than the major one. So this adds 4 more intervals to the list. Every major interval has a minor variant, just 1 fret lower. So the major second, minor second, the major third, and the minor third, the major sixth, and the minor sixth, and the major seventh, and the minor seventh. So now we got a lot of intervals already, but we're still missing something. Between the perfect fourth and the perfect fifth, there is another interval, also called the tritone. But you can label it in 2 ways. Or we raise the perfect fourth, and then we call it an augmented fourth. Or we lower the fifth, the perfect fifth, and then we call it a diminished fifth. So now we gave lots of fancy name to every interval in 1 octave. Minor second, major second, minor third, major third, perfect fourth, augmented fourth or diminished fifth, perfect fifth, minor sixth, major sixth, minor 7, major 7, and the perfect octave. You can also describe all these fancy names by just using the function. So we can say major second, or just a 2, or minor second and flat 2, or 6, or flat 6. It's the same thing, but the one sounds a little more fancy than the other. We can really use these intervals when we're trying to label chords, for example. A major 7th chord, for example, is built with the 1, the major 3rd, the perfect 5th, and the major 7th. A minor 7th chord, for example, is built with the 1, the minor 3rd, the perfect 5th, and the minor 7th. So all these little things, all these labels, really do have a function. So now you do know the names of these. What next? So now really figure out what all the intervals look like on the guitar. A major 6th can be played like this, or like this. An octave, like this, or this, or this, or this. There are so many shapes of each interval. A major 3rd, or like this, or like this, or like this. A minor sixth, like this, or like this. A tritone, a diminished fifth. All these shapes are everywhere to be found on the guitar. And you play them a lot when you're playing guitar. You're basically constantly playing intervals. They are so fundamental to everything that has to do with music. They are on the basis of how chords are built. They describe so much more than just a relation of two notes. Theory and sound, knowing what's it called and linking an emotion or a sound to that. It's when you choose what you want to hear, making something that is inside your head come to life. Try out interval ear training, for example. That's a really powerful tool for when you're getting into this stuff. There are tons of apps helping you to do this. First, only recognize the major and the perfect ones, and then add the minors or the diminished and the augmented to the mix. This will add so much to your understanding of music. Listening is one of the most important things you can do whilst training music. And that's basically all you need to know about intervals for now. Of course there's more. You can go up beyond the octave, called compound intervals, 9s, 10s, 11s, 13s. But if you have a good understanding of what this is about, you're pretty much on the right track. Alright, have a wonderful day. This was Paul Davids. Thank you all for watching, and if you like this video, click the thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that already, and make sure to comment or to share this video with everyone you know, because they need to know theory as well. Bye, cheers!